So today I'm going to show you a tutorial on how to do contouring. I'm going to do this because it was requested, and I think it really helps chisel the face. If you've got a rounder face like me, I'm in the process of trying to lose a little bit of weight, so I like to contour for that reason, to make my face look a little bit smaller. So it really brings out your cheekbones and kind of brings out your features. So keep watching, we're gonna get right into it. Oh, and I've already cleansed, I've exfoliated, I've toned, and I've moisturized. So make sure you always do that first, and if you choose to use a primer, you can do your primer after that. Just always make sure that you wait about 10 minutes in between each process, because you don't want to put the foundation right onto your primer. You need to let it do its work. I don't use a primer personally. I just don't feel like I need to use one. The makeup does a great job for me. So let's get started. So first I'm going to be using foundation. I'm doing a little bit more of a higher end foundation today, only because it's like a going out type look, and I like to do a little bit more high end foundation when I go out. So this is Estee Lauder Double Wear. I've worn this for, I can't even tell you how many years, forever. And I keep going back to it because it just is wonderful. It has great coverage, but not too much. It's buildable, it's easy to work with, and I don't even have to use a brush with this. I could use my fingers, which is probably weird, but it works for me. I like using a brush with other foundations, but this one I just don't. So the color is Fresco. I shake it up first. And just get a little bit out on the ring finger here. I start with a dot or two and then just kind of work it in. And like I told you in my last video, I have trouble spots I have to cover up. I've got melasma, which I got with my last pregnancy, and I have rosacea. I guess I inherited that. So I definitely have to cover it up. As you see, I'm using probably a little bit more than most people. And just kind of blend that all in. I like to push it into the pores. I do have oily skin. Well, it's kind of a combination, but oily in the T-zone for sure. So I have larger pores, which is kind of a blessing in disguise, because the oily skin does help me keep looking younger. I'm just gonna work that in. And make sure I get some on my eyelid, because that kind of acts like a primer to me, the foundation and the concealer on an eyelid. And that way I don't have to worry about using a separate primer for the eyelid. Just kind of work that in. I pat, I don't pull, I don't tug on the eyelids. Never tug around those eyes, because you will definitely get some wrinkles. And I'm just going to put a little bit more on the forehead there to cover that melasma. And then a little bit on the neck. This is a great color for me, but it is a little bit darker than my skin. I don't tan my face. I never really had, well, I did when I was a teenager, but that's before we knew about how bad sun and tanning was for your skin. So I have damage to show for that. And I'm just gonna put a little bit more, and you do kind of have to work a little bit fast with this, because it does dry it. And I have a fan on me right now because our air is not working properly. And if you hear something in the background, my husband is mowing the grass, so we kind of timed this kind of bad. So there we go. And now that looks pretty decent. So I'm gonna make sure that's blended in with my beauty blender, and I use a damp beauty blender, and I just kind of make sure that's all set there. Most of the time I use the IT Cosmetics, the Bye Bye Under Eye Concealer. It's really good, and it's light. I like the lighter concealer because it kind of makes your around your eyes and center of your face kind of stand out a little bit, and that's what you want. So I just use a little bit, which that looks like a lot, but I'm going to use it in several different spots. So I'm going to go under the eye, and I'm going to pat and go out to the outside of the eye, and you're going to see it kind of like comes down to a triangle. Do that because it's actually going to help the contouring process later. And I'm going to put it above And I'm also gonna put it right here in the center of the face, on the nose, Cupid's bow, and right on the chin there. And I'll just kind of dot, or not dot, but I'll just kind of buff that in a little bit. Actually, I'm just kind of dabbing it. Little dabbing. And then work it in around the eye. And yeah, it is bright. It's really bright, but when you see the contouring along with it, it's gonna look really good. Now you have your concealer and your foundation. You're ready to contour. I'm gonna do a cream contour first, and I have an RCMA palette that I use. I like their foundation. It's good foundation, but it's just really good for contouring. So I did not get my contouring brush. So we're gonna wing this with the finger, okay? So you've got your RCMA palette, and you can use any cream contouring. You don't have to use, this is the back of it. And this one, the one that I have is VK number 11. So I like to use this color here because it's like, it doesn't have any gold in it. So what I'm gonna do, since I don't have my brush, I'm just gonna take my finger, and you wanna go like where the top of the ear is, down. Same thing over here. Along the nose there, bridge of the nose, up to the eyebrow. Kind of out the corners of the nose, and then kind of like at a little V at the point of the nose. Just like that. And it'll make your nose appear more defined. I'm going to actually make this a little bit darker here. And I'm going to put a little bit underneath the lip. And I'm also gonna do, on the forehead, I'm gonna do like a few stripes. And the same thing over here. And also, at the top of the forehead. You don't have to do that. My forehead's just a little bit larger, so I like to do that. I like to put the contour in the crease of the eye. You're gonna buff all this in just a minute with your Beauty Blender. It's really got above the crease, but oh well. And also do right here, only because like I said, I've got a little few extra pounds that have given me 2 chins, so I'm gonna conceal that. So that's pretty much it with the cream concealer. I'm going to get my Beauty Blender, and it is damp, by the way. And I'm just gonna start at the nose because that's where I want less color. And I'm gonna go up and down in a patting motion and blend that in. Make sure it's blended in really well. Let me get a big comb here so I can see closer. And that looks good. So I'm just gonna go right here at the eye and blend that back and forth. See, it's already looking like less of a chin, so that's good. And then we want to go up to the forehead, and we're just going to blend down toward the temple and out toward the hairline. Same thing up top. You can bring it down as far as you want. I bring it down about almost halfway. If you have a small forehead, of course you're not going to want to bring it down very far because we're receding. We don't want to do that with a small forehead. And oh, I forgot, under lip. So now you can see how the center of my face just kind of stands out a little bit. That's what you want. So actually have a little hair. That looks good. So what I'll do next is set it with powder. I love this powder. This is crazy. I mean, for anyone to spend this much money on a powder, you're insane. But it's the La Mer, I think that's how you say it. It's their translucent 05, and it costs a lot. It costs like $72, y'all. But I have had this for a long time, and it's beautiful, and I only use it when I go out or just special occasions. So I think this is made from like crushed pearls. That's why it's so amazing. I'm gonna turn my fan off. So what you're gonna do, I really conserve this powder, so I'm gonna just dip a little bit on my powder brush, and talked about this last time. This is the Real Techniques powder brush. It's big. I like big fat powder brushes. So I'm gonna start down here and just kind of pat that in. And the reason I do that little, this is what I'm doing, making the powder settle into the brush so I don't have to use quite as much. So I'm just gonna take that down on the neck there, blend it all in. Just gives your face a little bit of a sheen. It's not really much of like shimmer at all, but it does give it like a sheen. Like I said before, I don't really care for a matte look. I mean, to each his own. Some people only put powder like in their T-zone. I put it all over because I'm oily, and my makeup just, even though the Double Wear is not, it's not oily at all, my face tends to get oily toward the end of the day. So, okay. Shoot, where's my stuff? We're gonna do our powder contour after our powder. And the butter bronzer is my favorite by Physicians Formula. It is amazing. It smells amazing. I love the Huda Beauty. Wait, is it Huda? Ooh, I don't think it's Huda. My daughter has it. I can't remember what it is. It's amazing too, but I don't have it right now. My daughter has it. This is color, it just says bronzer. I guess it only comes in this one color, but it smells amazing. This is a great little defining bronzer, or actually contouring brush, I should say. It is by Real Techniques, and doesn't have a number, so it's shaped like this. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start right there on the cheekbone and just kind of go up and down, wiping that bronzer in there. Don't worry about harsh lines because you are gonna blend it later. And you know, I say the more the better. I mean, if you're going somewhere and you wanna look good and you want that face to stand out, contour, girl. Don't be afraid. Everywhere that I put the cream, excuse me, the cream contour color, I'm gonna do the powder the same way. When you do layers like this, it just makes it stand out a little bit better and last longer too. So I'm gonna use that same Real Techniques powder brush that I used before. See that it says powder brush on there, but there's a glare. Just kind of wipe that powder off and just start blending. And you're gonna blend in like a circular and up motion, swirling up toward the hairline. On the forehead, kind of circular motions there and out toward the hairline. looking good. So on the nose, actually, you know, I usually start with the nose because I don't want too much bronzer on the powder brush before I do the nose. So I'm gonna make this brush skinny by squeezing the bristles, and I'm gonna go along the nose, and I'm just gonna go up and down toward the eyebrow. Same thing over here. You can see my nose already looks smaller, so it works. And on the bottom of that, right under there, and that looks really good. You definitely want to buff it until it doesn't look like a harsh line, because that's just ugly. I see it all the time and I just cringe, so we don't want that. I think that's pretty decent. I'm gonna leave it like that. So now, that is how I bronze. I will do a little extra highlight. I usually do it at the end, but I'm just gonna show you what I do. And this is from Ulta. It's just setting powder. It's just a little palette that my daughter has. To make your contour stand out just a little bit, take that little straight edge, if you can see, it's just kind of like a blunt straight edge brush, and take it into that light color powder, and then go underneath. Oh, this one doesn't have a mirror. Excuse me. That contour line, and just tap that white powder underneath it. I'm just gonna get a little bit more here. It's okay if you get a lot, because you're gonna buff that too. And just go under your contour there, and it kind of makes it stand out a little bit. Okay, and you can do it like on the center of the nose too. And sometimes I like to do like right over the eyebrow, like right in there. Here. And that is not highlight, by the way. That's basically just a white powder. I usually do my highlight at the end. I think I said that already, but just blend it all in. Now I'm just gonna finish my makeup out and show you the finished product at the end. Okay guys, so this is the final look. What do you think? I think it turned out pretty good. I'm loving the contour, I'm loving the highlight. As you can see, contouring is pretty simple, but if you have any questions, you can ask in the comments below. I'd be glad to help you with any questions or concerns. Thank you so much for watching me today and taking time out of your busy day to watch my channel. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and give me a thumbs up. Love you guys.